Welcome back, everyone, to week 48, a week of a lot more almost. So, there's still a lot going on, a lot persisting from previous weeks, but really things seem to be quieting down, not necessarily trailing off. There's still a bunch of questions overhang. Um, so, what's going on yet trailing off? Well, the repo operations, again, we've passed the point in the month where things got most extended. We'll have to see if it comes back at the next stress point. Um, so that is something to watch. The Middle East quieting down. I know that MBS, Mohammed bin Salman, Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia, said that a conflict in the Middle East could crash the world's economy. Well, I don't know how hyperbolic that is, but it probably is at least a little bit, but maybe not. Now, trade war. Um, this dance of escalation, de-escalation seems to be persisting. The rhetoric of last week, as I'm sure many of you are aware of, is that the President of the United States is considering banning investment in Chinese companies. That could shake the market if it happens, but the if it happens is another question entirely. And speaking of the president and if it happens, more talk about impeachment. I'm sure many of you are far more uh, educated on the topic than I am in terms of what's going on right now in that ordeal. But still something that markets could react to if it progresses. Well, gold. We fake broke down, fake broke out up top, then fake broke down, then fake broke up. And now we're breaking down again. So basically, we're still around 1500. If you look at the chart today, some chartist bulls are probably worried, but so we'll have to see. We'll have to see how that goes. Now, the question here remains longer term. Do we go into a money printing environment or do things kind of taper off and we resolve the overbought condition? I was surprised. I would have thought through this consolidation that um, conditions would normalize in terms of speculation would taper off and um, commercials would move back towards flat. It didn't. It continued to trail in the direction that it was going. So we'll have to see how that continues. Again, that's not immensely important, but it is a sign of overbought versus oversold. Now, if you look at the equities belief in a $1,500 gold environment looks to me like it is still they remain skeptical. But the interesting tidbit from that I saw bits of this a week ago or 2 weeks ago, a while ago. But anyway, I thought it was interesting that in 2019, about 120 million ounces of gold were produced. Now, that amount is more than was discovered. That amount is approximately slightly more than what was discovered in 2012, 2014, 2015, 2016, and 2017 combined. Now, am I saying we're running out of gold or something? No, unless we keep not spending money looking for gold, in which case, yes. But the, there's still gold. There's still a lot of gold on Earth. We just need to spend money to find it, which has not been going on in the past decade, really. So um, that's interesting. And again, those levels in 2012, 14, 15, 16, 17 are approximately in line with the year 2000 when um, tech ruled the earth and gold was dead. On uranium, nothing much happened this week. That being said, Monday, September 30th, is the last trading day of September. Why I'm mentioning this is because on the last trading day of the last few months, uranium equities have been very excited or active, or you pick a word. You can look back to see what I mean. And then the day after, they've forgotten about it. So whatever happens today, big up day, big down day, realistically, it's the last trading day of the month. Funny things happen. I'm still in the uranium space. I'm still have some bids in some places, still adding to names I like on pullbacks. So the one interesting thing that I want to remark with regards to oil was that the spike after the Saudi attack has been completely retraced. So it's not a end of the world and keep running type thing. It's looking like the market thinks that that was an emotional move and not a huge deal. Well, now we'll have to see how long it takes them to get back and what that means for different oil contracts and equities going forward, but I'm kind of surprised. So one interesting thing I saw this week in the shipping space was that was it the president, chairman, something of Scorpio Tankers bought a huge amount of call options. Now, insiders will often buy stocks, but this insider bought call options for January 2020, which is interesting because that's 3 or 4 months away, and they paid a decent amount for the of premium for the volatility. So for the calls that they bought at the 28 strike, their break even is actually above $31. So that's odd for something from an insider such short term, a bet on the stock price. So we'll see. So the other thing is I've been doing some looking recently at some different base metal plays. And while I do still have some economic concerns and I'm not convinced the pricing of the metals will recover anytime soon. I mean, they might shoot up tomorrow for all I know, but I'm cautious on the prices of the metals themselves. Based on what the market seems to be thinking, I can definitely see the bull case for bulls in the equities of these, various base metals. So picks for the week. Again, pretty much, same as last week, slightly different prices, but calls, Gen 2022 calls for Cameco, 80 cents. They traded at 70 a bit last week, but they're back at 80 cents. And I like that price. We'll see how that one turns out, probably before 2022, but by 2022, we'll see. Uh, Pick two, I wasn't really going to add Faraday, but then I was looking through some possible options and I saw it was down like 8% on nothing. So at that price, we'll just add a little bit. And lastly, Scorpio Tankers. I was, the third pick was going to be a shipping company. Um, and seeing as the insider took a big position in that one, well, uh, all else equal, insiders might have an idea what's going on. There's some transactions closing and some stuff going on there, but uh, with the vote of confidence and with the liking of the sector, could be a good pick. That being said, as I mentioned before, I believe I mentioned, uh, the pricing index for shipping, it has been mostly down since the Saudi Arabia deal, but over the next, let's call it 15 months, I think there's a good chance it's going higher, even if the economic questions continue. So that's all for today. Hope to be getting to an additional video this week. Time permitting, I think I'll have time. Fingers crossed. Keep track. I believe the Kazatomprom Capital Markets Day is today, and so that's something to keep watching for later today. And that's it. I hope everyone is intrigued by something or found some idea. If not, maybe next time. And good luck in the markets in the interim.
As always, everyone, please do your own research before making any investment decisions. This channel shall not be liable for any losses incurred from investment decisions made as a result of information obtained on this channel. Uh, Good luck with your investments. I'll catch you next time.